I'm thinking to myself, holy shit, this is freaking amazing. And I really want to get on this because this is how things would be. And I just really wanted to learn that. And as a software engineer, I thought, how hard could it be to learn AI and machine learning? Right now is the best moment to learn it because not many people know it. It'll give me a competitive advantage, but more important, it'll help me stay relevant. The plan is quite simple. I want to learn machine learning and artificial intelligence as fast as possible so that I'm relevant and my job isn't in threat. At the same time, it felt like a monumental challenge, but hey, how hard can it be? I learned software engineering, so I could also learn machine learning and artificial intelligence. Here's the thing. The plan is to use AI in order to learn AI. That is the ultimate cheat code. I went to ChatGPT and I said like, hey, tell me everything about machine learning and artificial intelligence. My God, I was so surprised that there is just so much information there. And I'm thinking to myself like, can I even actually do this? Because it seems a lot and I don't know most of the things. I thought I knew software engineering so it would be easier, but clearly this is not the case. Therefore, the second method that I tried was I asked ChatGPT like, alright, according to Pareto principle, what are the most important concepts in machine learning and artificial intelligence, and can you break them down for me? And it sure did. Cool. Now I have a very focused list of the things that I want to learn, but at the same time there's still very broad topics. I can just take one topic and break them down into further sub pieces so that I can easily understand them. ChatGPT was able to do this, but it still didn't make sense to me. It was quite difficult to comprehend and grasp on the concepts. It was supposed to be easy, but it's not. I started Googling stuff. I started looking at those different tutorials, articles, videos. I'm still baffled because I don't understand. It's not making sense to me. There must be a better way to use AI to learn all of this stuff, right? There has to be a quick hack, because people are learning this and I feel like I would get left behind if I don't learn all of this stuff straight away. And it's also making me doubt my own ability as a software engineer because I'm used to tackling complex problems and hard things, but this is not really making sense to me. Maybe I can just use prompt engineering to make this a lot easier for me and present this information in a way that it would make sense to me. I learned prompt engineering, and this was a way to actually talk to the LLM in a way that you want. So in my case, it was just to present this complex information, things that I don't understand, in a way that is easily digestible for me. Maybe this would be the key to actually unlock this gold mine of AI world. The first thing I learned a little bit more about was some limitations of large language models, which is important to understand. And mainly the one that I'm most focused on was the context window. So I made sure that whenever I put passing in information and asking it something or going through the chat, that I don't pass its context window, because the context window is like the memory of the LLM. If you go over that, the LLM will start forgetting something. Another thing I learned was that it also tends to hallucinate. So what I figured, all right, in order to solve these problems of the context window and hallucination, I need to give the LLM the information that I want to learn. So that would mean that I need to organize the information that I want to learn first and then use the LLM to allow it to teach me all of those things. The easiest one was like I started asking it to have some quizzes. Then I was like, all right, this is quite boring, but maybe, coding projects is really cool. Like projects is the best thing. And this is like you learn by doing. So I asked it to give me a list of 10 coding projects that I can use. The problem was that I'm trying to learn all of this stuff. I don't know how to make a project. Even the projects that it suggested were quite high level. Even when I tried for basics, the concepts weren't making sense to me. I was able to go through the tutorial step by step, but something just wasn't clicking. I asked her to explain it to me like a 5-year-old, and then explain it to me with mental models, some analogies, some visualization. But as I'm learning and going through and experimenting with all of these things, time is still passing and weeks go by and I'm barely making much progress. And I'm like, there has to be a better way. Time is running out. I really want to learn this. I've got different responsibilities. I've got family. I really wanted to get this moving forwards. At this point, I know what I needed to learn. I know what I need to focus on. I am trying to synthesize this information in a way that is understandable to me. But I just realized that this is just so boring that I just get so bored, man. So I was like, all right, fine. Let me just create a study schedule. Like I asked ChatGPT, like, hey, I have got these topics to learn. Break it down for me and tell me how much time I need to spend on these and I will learn it. How many times have you actually planned to do something but you haven't followed through? At this point, I'm just thinking, man, all the young people who are much smarter than me, all the young graduates would be so far ahead already, and I'll be just being left behind. All these self-critical things are just, hitting me left and right, and I'm like, maybe I'm not even good as a software engineer. Like, how can I learn this? Like, this was supposed to be easy for me, and like my mind is just racing, and I just stop myself. Hang on, maybe I'm looking at this the wrong way. Maybe AI is not meant to solve all of your problems. Maybe it's not a magic bullet. Maybe you treat it as a tool. And then I was like, okay, fine. So it's just a tool that I can use to go where I want to go. But the problem is that I'm not able to understand all of this complex stuff. What worked for me? How did I become a software engineer? And it just hit me that I used the Trilogy method. This is the method that I use to become a software engineer and help me understand complex things and different topics and help me get myself unblocked on things that I don't understand. Time is also running out. I'm feeling like I've wasted so much time. I have made barely enough progress. What's the harm, right? Let's try with this one more method as well. And maybe if after this it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. I will be very disappointed, but I tried my best. By this time, there was a new kid on the block. ChatGPT is not the only thing that is pioneering this chat-like experience. There are other companies like Anthropic that have came up with their own models, Claude 3.5 Sonnet at this point in time. It seemed like it was actually better. The plan is that I use this brand new model, and with a fresh new outlook, using the Trilogy method that has worked well in the past for me, I can make progress much faster than what I had been doing before. The Trilogy method is basically comprised of 3 steps, or as I call it, the 3 passes. The first pass is, I know it's going to sound completely insane, but you don't look at the material that you're trying to learn. You know what the topic is, and then you try to come up with some assumptions, like based on the topic itself. Like, hey, what do I know about this? What do I think I know about this? At this point, 99% chances that you will get it wrong, but that's the whole point. You see, the way you learn is that you don't just put in new information in your brain. The brain doesn't work that way. The brain has like billions of neurons, and they're all interconnected to each other. The way new information gets fed in is that it relates to the old information that you have. By doing this first pass, I write down everything that I need to know, everything that I think I know, all the assumptions that I made, like, hey, this maybe it will work something like this. Then I use Claude AI to confirm or deny those assumptions, because then it gives me a very brief outlook on like, all right, here's the things that I thought I knew, here's the thing that I don't know, and here's the thing that may need a little bit of thing. So therefore, this actually reduces the amount of cognitive efforts. If I'm really running short of time, or I've got different responsibilities during the day and I've only got like 30 minutes, then I know that if I want to make quick progress and then better progress, that I just focus on the things that I don't really know and don't know much about, and the rest would sort of like fall through. This would mean that I'm not wasting time learning or reading information, the things that I already know about. So that's the first pass and the first method. The second bit of the Trilogy method is by actually learning the stuff. In this stage, I'm actually going through the video, going to the resource that I've picked out, and I'm using Claude AI with all the prompt engineering techniques that I used before and trying to break down information. But this time, I'm focusing on not just breaking it down, but the relationship between those broken down things. So for example, you've got this one topic called machine learning, and then within that machine learning, there are subcategories, and then you learn what of those categories mean, and then you also learn the relationship between those categories. By doing this, you not only learn how these materials relate to each other, but also the overall bigger picture whilst knowing all of the details. This ensures that whatever I'm learning next, everything is being connected to what I already know and what I want to learn. And because I've done the first step, I know where all of this is heading. So overall, it makes it a much faster process to learn. And yes, it is very intensive. I do get tired, but it's worth it. And that's how I know that this is how I'm making progress very quickly. With Claude AI, I'm asking it all of these different things to mind map these different ideas. I'm asking it to create progressive web apps that can help me break down the material and visually see what is it that I'm learning, and also focus on the things that I don't know and the sub details and how they're related to the main thing. What is so amazing is that I don't need to worry about like copying and pasting the code to a third-party thing. It just works right there on the browser straight away, and if there's any error, you can just tell it to fix this error. This is the ultimate hack. You use Claude AI to build a React app and it runs the code for you, and this is a way to actually visualize things a lot quicker. I mean, you can't generate images, but this goes really far way of visualizing and helping you understand and all of those things. Plus, with the understanding of like, hey, like what is a context window, what is the effective prompting techniques, you get so far ahead. I made so much progress very quickly. And the last step, once I've actually gone through the materials, I've understood them, What I do is I basically take out a sheet of paper and just write out everything that I need to know, like using a spider diagram. I try to write out as much detail as I can from memory, not rereading anything, trying to use active recall to actually recall the stuff that I think I know and things that I don't know, and just write down every single thing. And I just take a picture of that, feed it into Claude AI, and then it's able to tell me that, hey, all of this information, this is the things that you got wrong, and this is what I need to learn. It's so clear. And this is how I'm learning AI with. I thought AI and machine learning is the future and it will take over the world and I would get left behind. And because I'm a software engineer, that I had this sense of ego that, it will be easy for me. But in reality, it's nothing like that. Machine learning and AI is just a tool. It's not a magic bullet that will take you from A to B, and anyone who promises you that can completely take over, at this point in time, I don't think that's happening. These tools are tools. They're not something that will take over your job or any other thing. And also, just because I'm a software engineer doesn't mean that I will be able to grasp things quickly. Some things just take more time. Some things are more complex. Everybody's different, and that's okay. As long as we move forwards and we learn new things, it's all well and good. Until next